Well, happy Sunday, goal friends. Happy Self-Care Sunday and happy August to each of you. I hope that your day has been amazing. I hope that you are getting some self-care time in today. And I hope that today you are just kind of recalibrating and resetting and preparing for the upcoming week as well as the upcoming month of August. You know, we are almost about to approach the fall season. And so if you have any goals that work in unison with the warmer temperatures, hurry and get those goals done, because before you know it, it's going to be fall and the temperature is going to change. And if warmer temperatures will help you meet your goals, then you know how critical it is to get as much as you can done, in the month of August. So much has happened in the month of July that I could get into, but I'm not. I am going to save all of that for our segment on when life happens. As you all know, that for the month of July, we were scheduled to deal with the topic for July, when life happens. And life did happen for me and my household in the month of July. And so as a result, I had to cancel our July meetup. But do not despair. Do not be worried. I am going to circle back and still address and cover the subject when life happens, because it is important to address it. How many of you know that whenever you're trying to achieve something great, or you're trying to achieve something that's at a higher level, you're going to meet a certain amount of resistance. And you're going to meet, as I've said in previous recordings, that gravitational pull. You will feel it. And so I'm going to circle back and cover that subject, because I really feel that it will help a lot of the goal friends in the group, because I know that you are dealing with, currently or in the past or in the future, you will have one of those when life happens moments. Okay. And so we're going to talk about that, because sometimes you may not be able to find people that you can talk to comfortably about that subject, you know, because you feel like you can't tell everybody your business. But we're going to address it. And when I cover that subject, you all let me know if it helps you. But today, I want to know, how are you doing? I know some of you will comment in the group, in the comments every once in a while, you know, to kind of give us an idea of what's going on, or how you feeling, how you're progressing, or what have you. But I just want to know, how are you doing? Ask yourself that today on this Self-Care Sunday. And the other thing I want to know is, how are things coming along with your goals? You know, it's Sunday, it's a chill day, and most of us are probably thinking about what we need to do next week in order to move to the next step when it comes to our goals. I pray that all is well. If it's not well with regard to your goals or life in general, just keep living. Each day you live, you will live out of the problem and into the place that you desire. I know many times it looks like we're not going to get there, because we can be in that dark place for so long until you begin to lose hope if you're not careful. But just continue to live each day. Live another day and another day and another day. And then one day you're going to look up and you're going to be like, wow, I didn't even realize when I came out of my problem. But whether you realize it or not, it's a blessing to have problems. You know what I mean? Because it means you are alive and you've been given opportunity to make a change and to live the life that you desire, if you continue to fight through and just be in a position of faith and hope, and just know that you are coming out. Because, you know, nothing remains the same. You know, things change, and so will your situation. Just live through it, get the lessons that need to be gathered from whatever it is you're going through, whatever it is that needs to be developed in you. Excuse me, because it could be patience, It could be that maybe you need some more development on faith. Excuse me. Or it could be maybe you just need to be able to see that God can provide and that he can do the miraculous and that he has so many resources that you know not of. And so just hold on, gold friends, okay? So let me get started. Today's topic is dealing with when friends and family don't support. When friends and family don't support, does that feel good? Probably not. Most people get discouraged when their family and friends don't support them. But sometimes the family and friends, those that are closest to us, we have such a high expectation of them, don't we? We expect them to be there regardless, especially if they are a close family and if they are a bestie or what have you, or someone that we consider a bestie. We really have some high expectations of these folks. And so, you've created your new life goals and, you're ready to share those goals with your family, with your friends. And when you're family, you definitely going to be one of the first to receive the announcement of, the new goals or the new plans that your family member has. But just because they're family and just because they're friends does not mean that they're going to be the most supportive. And when those conversations and events don't go as planned, sometimes we can take it personal if we don't catch ourselves. And so the purpose of today's topic for this month of August is to just show us a different perspective if we are struggling with unsupported family and friends, and we feel like we about to excommunicate them and divorce them, and we're gonna not have anything to do with them. And all the little sayings that you hear or see on Instagram and TikTok about, if they can't support your dreams, you gotta leave them alone, kick them to the curb, or they just jealous, they just hating. A lot of times it's not any of that's going on. And so today's topic is going to expand our perspective so that we can be balanced and that we can be in the right spirit and in the right attitude and in the right mindset when we are trying to launch that business or to launch and go after that goal. Because we don't want any negative energy. A lot of times people see the negative energy from the family and the friends, but you don't realize sometimes you are emanating, negative energy yourself, because you will develop the wrong spirit and the wrong attitude because you feel like people that you expected to support you, you want them to support you. Okay, so let's take a look at that. When it's family and friends, our emotions tend to be a little bit more complicated, right? And, we sometimes have that preconceived idea that family should always, emphasis on always, protect, support, and encourage us. And when they don't end up meeting our expectation, we end up getting hurt. But one of the things I want to ask you, is it reasonable to expect full support from your family and friends all the time, on every single goal that you pursue? Is it reasonable? Think about that. And one question that I want to ask you is, the next time that you talk to your loved ones about one of your goals, or you're thinking about talking to one of your loved ones about your goals, I want you to ask yourself these 3 questions. The first one is, how long has it been since you've talked to this person? That's important. How long has it been? Because that's indicative of something going on your end. If it's been a long time since you've talked to that person, potentially something going on your end. It could look like you only talk to them when you want to talk about something you're doing. Are you calling to check on them just to see how they're doing when it's not related to what you're needing, your goal, or what have you? Think about that before you call them and blurt out all of your thoughts. We going 100 miles an hour about all our thoughts, our goals. But how long has it been since you talked to this person? Because, a lot can happen if it's been a long time. A person could change. The person you thought they could no longer be that person. Maybe they were once a person that was progressive, one that was evolving, one that was futuristic, and all of a sudden you hadn't talked to them in a long time and you talked to them like, wow, they've changed. They're not interested. They're apathetic, and they don't have that drive anymore about goals, and I just didn't hear that ambition. So think about that. How long has it been? Because that could be a red flag or a warning hand saying, hold up, before you go calling. The next question you want to ask yourself, is this person going through a hardship or emotional distress? Because out of courtesy, I think that, and you may differ in your opinion with me on this, but if a person is dealing with, a marital issue and your marriage is going well, I think out of consideration, you wouldn't want to be talking about how great your marriage is going when this person over here is going through emotional distress in theirs. Okay, so that lets us know that if they are having a hardship, and we know how hardships can just make us sometimes tends to be a little jealous, or if somebody else is succeeding in an area that we're currently struggling in at that moment, we don't want to hear all that. Some of us don't, at least. We don't know how to still encourage people and congratulate them and praise them when we're going through. But as goal friends, we want to be people who are developed in that character where we know how to lift you up, praise you, congratulate you, even if we are going through a hardship or emotional distress. We don't want to be people who hate, in which, excuse me, most people that have goals don't have time to hate anyway, because we are so busy trying to achieve what it is that we are working on, So think about that. The next time you want to have an expectation for support from a family member or a friend, think about, are they going through a financial hardship? Are they going through a physical hardship? Are they going through some sort of problem, a marital problem, relationship problem, problems with their children, problems at work? Are they dealing with mental illness, mental instability, emotional distress, depression, what have you? If they are dealing with that, then out of courtesy, you may not want to go and just kind of talk to them like that, okay? Is this person, the third question is, are they generally a negative or a positive person? Now, if they are generally a negative person, why in the world are you expecting support from them? Because you are setting yourself up for a letdown. I'm here to tell you. Now, if they are generally a positive person, then yeah, you are excited. Don't we be excited to talk to people that we know that are generally positive people? Because we know that when we talk to them, we feel even better once we get off the phone with them, or once we leave lunch or brunch with them. We just feel like we're ready to conquer the world, or our energy is renewed, or our goal has just been elevated to even a higher level. So if they are positive people, then yay, these are the people that we want to kind of like talk to about our goals. When you're excited about a goal or a plan, it can be easy to overlook the thoughts and the feelings of others. And that's what these 3 questions are designed to help check us, to make sure that we're acting out of a spirit of courtesy and consideration when it comes to our goals. Because we know currently the country is still dealing with the pandemic, and now we're entering this 3rd wave of COVID-19, and people are dealing with a lot. Like even this weekend in the news, they're talking about these evictions and how the moratorium hasn't been extended. And so as a result, people are going to be out of their house if nothing doesn't happen between now and the critical point where they just actually started going out there trying to kick people out of their apartment or their rental house. And so we definitely want to be considerate during this season of COVID-19. People are dealing with so much, you all, and I know you all know this. And sometimes we see it. Sometimes we hear about how different ones are going through something. And then there are those who are those silent sufferers who don't say anything. You have no clue. You know why? Because they know how to get up and keep it moving without impacting other folks' lives. They know how to get up and smile, and still engage with you and support you, yet you have no clue what they're dealing with. And so we want to be considerate, especially during this season, okay? When it comes to your goals. A lot of times, like I said, the ones, even in your own family, who are the ones that are constantly smiling and just look like nothing is going on with them? I want you to think about those folks. And even today, if you can recognize some that seem to be strong and always smiling and going through, like they're not experiencing anything, call them and just check on them. It could be parents, aunts, your grandparents, or other relatives, because those are the ones that a lot of times are the ones that try to give so much support to people. And a lot of times when they're in that dark place, no one seems to recognize it. So check on those people. Some of the reasons why family members may not be as supportive of you is how you have that family member that may be negative, or that friend that may be negative. Some of it is because they may have you may say, oh gosh, they're so cynical about what I'm dealing with. But look at it from their perspective. Maybe they're just being cautious. Maybe they love you so much that they don't want you to get hurt. They don't want you to go bankrupt. They don't want you to be disappointed, especially if you're a person that deals with depression and you really go into a dark place when things don't work out your way. That could be a reason why family members and friends may not support you. They love you and they're just trying to protect you from falling hard and hurting yourself. It could be the fact that you talking about opening up a new business could bring back a painful memory for them as it relates to, your goal to open a business. Maybe they watched someone struggle really badly in trying to open a business, and as a result, they saw them working hard, looked like the work never ended, and that person became a different person because all they knew to do was to work, because they were trying to achieve that goal of opening a business, because having a business is no light undertaking. It's a lot of work. There is, the hours are long, and you usually don't have a team to help you brainstorm. And so, and then if you don't have that support from family and friends, then that can make it those hours even longer. And then sometimes if you're not getting proper rest and you're not eating properly, then, it kind of tends to cause you to become a different person that family and friends don't like because they like you're cranky, you're irritable, you're snapping at me or what have you. And so sometimes family members, they looking at all of that, or maybe they see that you keep starting something, stopping, then you come up with something new, and you didn't even finish the other 3 things that you learned. So now they done lost confidence in you, and they feel like you're one of these people that just jump from one thing to the next, and you don't finish successfully in anything. And so that could be a reason why family members and friends don't support you because of that. Okay. And if you really want to know, ask them. Isn't that an interesting conversation? Just straight up ask them, what is the issue? And you may be surprised at what they have to say to you. So the next thing we want to look at is, when we have a new goal that we are trying to accomplish, we go to that family member, that friend, or what have you, that bestie, and we don't get that response that we were hoping for. The question that I want us to ask next is one of these questions that is really deep, is why did you go to that person? Why did you pick them out to tell them? And you may say, because they my family member, or because they my best friend. But why? Let's go deeper. Are you seeking validation from them? Are you seeking approval from them? And then the other question that I asked previously is, why do you expect a different reaction from a person after they have consistently given you negative feedback in the past? Why? Perhaps you're looking for validation because maybe you lack confidence. Or maybe you see their support and encouragement as signs of love. Now, only you can answer that question of why do you go to them? Is it because you want to make sure that you're going to them for the right reason? Because if you are not, and then they can't give you what it is that you're seeking, that relationship could be lost over something that's really about you. It could be maybe you just need to have a little bit more confidence. You need to develop your confidence. Or maybe you are a people pleaser and you want the approval of folks that should only come from you. You don't need approval from people. If you're waiting to get people's permission to do things, we know how that can turn out. You don't need their permission. You don't need their approval. You don't need their validation. Everything you need is in you. And if it's not there currently, then we've got to develop it. And a lot of times when we experience problems and trouble and obstacles, those are the kind of things that are being developed in us that we don't even realize. It's like God wants to deliver us from the need to get validation from other folks. Because if they don't give it, then you feel like you don't have the ability to do or to achieve what it is you're seeking to achieve. The other question you want to ask is, why are you searching for validation? Because a lot of times it could be stemming from something, maybe childhood or just the way we were raised. Why are you seeking the validation from that person? And why do you hold this person in such a high standard that approval from them is so valuable? That's deep. I know y'all thought this probably was going to be like a little quick, easy, on the surface topic for the month of August. But hey, we are almost at the end of the year and we've got to go deeper, right? And that's what we're doing. We've got to get to the core of what's really going on with us when it comes to dealing with when family and friends don't support. Because you know, a lot of people end up stopping and quitting and losing relationships over this topic. And it's almost like their success is dependent upon the support that they get from family and friends. And as you have, I've often heard folks who are multimillionaires, they often will say that a lot of times your supporters are going to be, your biggest supporters are going to be strangers. Okay, remember that. Your biggest supporters will be strangers. And you need to really get that in your subconscious, and so that you can get delivered if you're a person who think that it's going to come from family and friends. It will come from people that don't know you. Okay? Now, that should take some of the pressure off the family and friends, right? And you've got to remember that when you don't get the support that you need, don't fall out with family and friends about it. Remember, you can't change them. And don't try to. Let them, catch up later on. Maybe they'll catch the vision as you are consistent and as you are dedicated and as you are working hard and manifesting some successful moments. Sometimes they will eventually catch on. Now, there will be certain family members, they're just not going to support you or your goals, your dreams. There are some family members, regardless to the amount of success that you are having, they're not going to be joyous. But remember, you have the capability to manifest the things that you desire. It's all in you. It's all in you. Everything that you need to do what it is you are trying to do, it's in you. God would not give us a goal, a dream, or a desire that is contingent on other people. He gives us the capacity and the wherewithal to do it. But sometimes we get tricked into thinking that we got to have family and friends. It's great if we do. It makes life a whole lot easier. But today we want to realize that a lot of times it's not going to come from them. It's going to come from strangers. You know, like I said earlier, some people just don't have a desire to evolve. Some people just choose to be unhappy. And when people are like that, why in the world are we expecting them to support us and to be happy? Think about a flower. I don't know if any of you have any flowers you've ever planted. My mom, about 6 months ago, gave me an elephant ear plant, and it was about this short. Now when you go out there and look in the yard, it is big. There are multiple leaves out there. It's just beautiful. And we have some other plants in the house that we got when they were like grocery store size plants, and now they are so huge and sprawling all out. Grover had to go to, I think it was Lowe's, to get some spiral wood and sticks to stick in the pot to try to help the leaves to stand up. It's some amazing growth going on. But when you think about a flower, you don't get angry if it doesn't bloom the way you want it to. You know, most of us have the understanding that it's going to bloom on its own terms, right? I know I'm not standing over the pot yelling at the flower. All we can do is show love, give it water, and go on with our personal activities. And usually when we just do those things and let it go and don't become so focused on it, the flower will do its thing. You don't have to stand over it crying, you know, any of that. It's going to do its thing in due time. And so it is with family members and friends that seem to be slow. Just let it go. Sometimes they will catch on later. In the meantime, you stay focused on your goals. And when you know a family member or a friend just doesn't take or accept or has the capacity to talk about your goals and your dreams, detach yourself from bringing up the topic when you are spending time with them, because you know it's not going to go anywhere and you're going to walk away feeling disappointed. You want to accept your loved ones for who they are, because whether you realize it or not, they are accepting you for who you are. I know sometimes we think we don't have any faults, but a lot of times our family members are putting up with some stuff with us as well. So next I want to talk about three problems with expecting constant full support from family members and friends. As I said previously, it's not reasonable to fully expect support from your friends and family all the time for every single goal you pursue. Now, you heard the words that I put the emphasis on. When you hear the emphasis on those words, it just helps you to realize, no, that's not reasonable. And that's because people have things that they're doing, right? Just like you are trying to get some things done, these family members and friends, they got some stuff that they trying to get done too. And they got problems going on in their life, just like a lot of us have things that we are dealing with. And so this means that they may not have the capacity to give you the support you need all the time. And then would you like it if family members and friends continuously complained about how you are not showing up to support them and their goals? Would you appreciate that? And then they're all on Facebook talking about you can't get support and support. When I see people do stuff like that, that lets me know they got some issues going on in them that we are addressing in today's topic. Why is it so doggone important that they do that? This is your goal. This is your dream. This is your baby. You're the one who has to eat right. You're the one who has to take your vitamins. You're the one who has to go to the doctor's appointments. You're the one who has to get up on the table and birth this goal, birth this dream. Not them. They didn't agree to it, did they? Nope, they didn't. You did. I did. And so it's our responsibility at the end of the day to get this thing birthed and carried out and fulfilled. Because they're busy, they have stuff to do too. And a lot of times people don't want to hear about nobody supporting me. And they like, dang, this your dream. This your goal. This ain't mine. I didn't sign up. I didn't sign a contract that I would support you fully all the time. Okay? Now, I am so grateful. So a lot of times we focus on all the people who are not supporting us until we forget to honor and lift and thank and appreciate those who are supporting us. Who are the people that are supporting you? Directly or indirectly? Because a lot of times we focus on those that are helping us directly. Who are the folks that are helping you indirectly with their, I don't know, it could be their posts or their videos that are encouraging, that give you strength. It could be, folks that are sharing, liking, commenting, telling others about you. Those are ways that people can support. It doesn't always have to be them showing up, but those people that are showing up to support you and spending money with you, you better believe you better show some appreciation to these people. Okay? Because otherwise, this is a one-way relationship where they're doing giving, supporting, and then you're not giving anything back every now and then. Okay, this is a two-way responsibility. The first thing, the problem is that sometimes our expectation is unreasonable. The second problem with expecting full and constant support from family and friends is that it puts too much pressure on the relationship, right? It does. And what'll happen is people will start unfollowing you. People will start dodging you. People will be like, here she comes. She calling, oh boy, here she come. I know her event is this weekend, or his, event is coming up next month. They will start dodging you because you become too much pressure on the relationship. And we don't want to be that person as goal friends. We want to be that type of person where we're giving, we're receiving, we're contributing to the relationship, and not always one of those takers. Is you take. The third problem with expecting constant full support from family and friends is that some people just don't have the ability, as I said before, to help you. Let's say you need support that's intellectual, like ideas, or you need support related to contacts and money. Maybe these people don't have the knowledge to advise you on it. And they may not have the resources that you need for this goal. Think about it, especially if it's related to money. Don't you know we're in a pandemic? Don't you know a lot of people still not working? And in a lot of states, the unemployment that they were getting, their governor decided to not participate in the federal program that the government issued to help those who had run out of benefits. So a lot of people are not getting anything right now. So be kind, be considerate. People may not have the money. And so, and that could be one of the reasons why we go, as I said, through problems, obstacles, to help us to be sensitive to some things that sometimes we are just not sensitive about. Because as I say, sometimes we expect things of people that they don't have the capacity. I think I've heard Iyanla say that, some people just don't have the capacity to provide the things that we're looking for. And so in that regard, you got to ask God to show you, lead you to your ideal customer, lead you to your tribe, show you how to develop your tribe, cultivate your tribe. And that way you will be among like-minded people. You will be among those who know what it is to go after a goal, who know what it is to build a business. So we want to make sure that our level of expectation is not unrealistic, especially when it comes to people who may not have the capacity to give at the expectation level that we think that they should. If they cannot do it, just like in business, if you sell something, you have a boutique, you have a store, sometimes people talk about pricing. Oh, your price is too high. Well, then that means you are not that business's ideal customer, because a lot of times when businesses start, usually they have an ideal customer. They have a targeted customer that they have in mind. They have a profile for their customer. They know what their customer income level is. They know what their customer likes to, what kind of music they like to listen to, where they like to eat. They know what kind of pages they like on Facebook. You should know who your customer is. And then that way, if they have the money or not to pay your prices. Now, if your ideal customer is kind of like an upscale customer, it's because you've done your research and you know that your ideal customer has the money to pay what it is that you are, the price that you are offering. But if you have a customer that, you trying to sell a high-end product, but you targeting folks that are at an income level that can't afford it, okay, that's a problem. I mean, you still got some work to do. All right. Most businesses' prices are based upon the target customer that they are going after. That, the type of folks that are liking their pages. The analytics will tell you what the income level is of these folks. Like, is most of your followers men? Are they mostly women? What age are they? What are their income levels? What are some of the pages that they are liking? What are the music? All of that is helping you build a profile of your customer, so that will help you to know how to properly price. And then you won't have to address your prices are too high, because you know who your audience is and you've already targeted them. You know that they have it. Okay. So how do you redirect your support for needs? Because we don't want to be a needy girlfriend. We don't want to be one of these business owners that's out here that's always needing. Every time people see you, you need something. We want to redirect that in a way. Okay. Because as I said, some people don't have the capacity to give you what it is you need. They may not have the knowledge to advise you. So if you are needing, for example, moral support, in terms of spirit, what you want to do is get a sheet of paper and write out these categories. Is it that you're needing moral support? Do you need physical support? I mean, by physical, do you need someone to spend time with you? Do you need physical presence support, companion? Do you need emotional support? That's the next category. Do you need someone to just listen to you? Someone who understands your problems, someone to encourage you on? Or do you need intellectual support with ideas, recommendations, analysis? Do you need just resource support, sharing contacts, loaning money, providing valid resources? So take out that sheet of paper and write those categories down. And then you want to write out what specifically do you need in the area of emotional support, intellectual support, resource support. What is it that you specifically need? Because a lot of times when you sit down and talk to people, you find out they really don't know what they need. They're just all over the place. But a lot of times, if we want to attract what it is that we are trying to manifest, we've got to be clear on what it is that we want, what it is we desire, what it is that we are needing. All right. Take a look at my notes. So if you are needing help with contacts, one of the things that you can do is go to networking events. You can do sourcing via social media like LinkedIn, Facebook. You can look up websites. Let's say you need intellectual support in the form of business ideas. Okay, think about that. Now that you got the categories listed down, and then you've listed exactly what it is you specifically need, how can you redirect that support away from family and friends to you? So if you need intellectual support, you could go check out books from the library. Yes, the library is still around. They do still, you can still go in there and check out books if you don't have the funds to actually go and purchase books. You could do some self-reading, because as a goal friend, you should be reading at least no less than 5 pages of some type of material that's going to develop you, encourage you, help improve your skill set. So you should be reading at least 5 pages a day. It'll, you know, like I say, help you build your skill. Can you seek out new contacts in the business world or whatever industry that you are in? Can you connect with these people, find out where they hang out on Facebook, what type of groups they are in, so that you can be a part of the thread, the conversations that go on. And then sometimes we may need to seek out a business coach, because sometimes there are certain things that we don't know. And if you don't have funds, then you can come up with creative ways to barter maybe with that person, or maybe let them mentor you. If someone is successfully doing what it is that you're trying to do, reach out to them and try to build that relationship. Go research the pages that they follow. Pay attention to the conversations that they're discussing online. Those are ways that you can redirect your support or need for support away from people, as I said, back to you. Okay? We don't want to be goal friends or the mindset that we just want family and friends to support us, because really that's kind of like the easy way out. And I know that's not the case in all cases, but in some cases it could be you want that easy way out and you just want them to support you. And because then that means you don't have to do all this work that I just presented to you in today's topic for the month of August. We are self-sufficient people. We want to be people that know how to go get the answers that we don't know the answer to. We want to know how to go and find the support that it is we need. And a lot of times, as I said, when you connect with people who are already in motion doing the things that you desire to successfully do, connect with those people, and then you will have some access to their connections. I know definitely getting a business coach in whatever industry it is that you're trying to do, you will definitely expand your access to resources when you connect with the right business coach, because you do have to be careful. The third problem with expecting constant full support from family and friends, the third thing that you can do to help this to be a smoother process is to have a heart-to-heart with those who really matter to you. For the people that you really want that active support from, you know, like your household, your husband, your spouse, your partner, your best friend, your parents. And these are people who that just aren't giving it to you at that point. I mean, they're not giving you anything, but you really feel like you need them. Have that heart-to-heart with them and talk to them and let them know that you're working on something that's very important to you. And because of that, you want to share it with the people who mean the most and who are the most important to you. Let them know that you're currently in that crucial place, because a lot of times the beginning stages of a goal or starting a business or launching something is that critical place. And let them know that their support will really mean the world to you in helping you succeed. And then let them know specifically what it is, what kind of support you need from them or you desire from them. And please let it be some support that they can do, that they have the capacity to do. Please make sure that it's this type of support that no one can provide except them. Okay? A lot of times people will help us if we be specific in what it is that we need from them. A lot of times people will help us if they have the capacity to do it. But sometimes we expect them to do things that they don't have the capacity, or something that they didn't agree to do. And then a lot of times they don't know how to help you. Especially if they don't realize the gifting that they have and how it could really help you. Sometimes you got to show people, you know, you're gifted in this area and I really could use that expertise. I really could use that gifting. And finally, you want to lead by example. And by that, I mean, you want to recognize, as I said previously, they're working on goals and they need support in the goals that they're working on too. You know, you could do things like asking them, how are things going with their goals? You can help them with providing emotional support. You can help them by visiting their business, you know, providing physical and moral support, providing them with books or resources or something you saw online that you think will be beneficial to their business. You can, you know, tag them in it or inbox them that article or what have you. And when you do this, it lets them know that you care about them too. You care about their success and their goals and their dreams. And it also shows an example of the joy of having support from a loved one when it comes to goals. Because what we expect, we've got to be one that's also doing it and giving it back out. We don't want to be takers. We want to be givers as well. Okay. So that is our topic for the month of August on dealing with family members and friends who do not support. We want to have that right perspective. We want to realize that our greatest supporters a lot of times and that will help us to become, you know, to live our wildest dreams, a lot of times are going to be strangers. So we really need to be open to that. You've got to expound your spirit in that mindset so that you can begin to attract those people who I believe God has waiting in position to help us if we could just get ourselves unfocused off of the folks who may not have the capacity, the skill, or the know-how, or the desire. They just don't want to help. You know, focus on the possibilities and all the strangers that are out there that are waiting to help you. And when they find out how great you are, your personality, how great your spirit is, that's the main thing. We don't want to be these type of people that are out here running businesses and trying to launch goals and dreams and your spirit is all jacked up. It's too much wickedness already in high places. So we want to do all things from that pure place so that we'll have sustainability, so that we'll have favor, and that we will always have a following and a tribe that's magnetic and excited about supporting us. And it all begins with having that right mindset about support and being able to love and speak positively of people that didn't support us. Because, you know, you got to be a person of big character to do that. And I know that we have it in us, goal friends. You know, we are on our way. We are being developed in multiple ways. We think we are here just working on these goals, but there is an internal work that also needs to be developed to match that level that we are ascending to. Well, that's my time. I hope that you've enjoyed today's episode and topic for the month of August. As I said at the start of today's topic, I will be circling back around and dealing with the topic that we missed for July on when life happens. My goal is to address that topic this upcoming week, because I want to go ahead and get it done, because I really feel in my heart and in my spirit that people need to know how to keep it moving when life happens and how to navigate that, right? How to successfully do it without quitting, without stopping, without having a breakdown and a meltdown. All right. So continue to support the conversations in the group on the post. You are welcome, as I always say, to post information you feel will be beneficial to the group. Comment when you feel the need to comment, and tell others about the group. We're up to like 70 people. The goal is to get up to 100 goal friends, and we are getting there. And I thank you all for telling people about the group. Thank you all for joining the group, and welcome to all of our new goal friends that have joined the group. And as I said, this is not my group, this is our group. So participate, share, tell us what you're dealing with, and or post something that you feel will bless the group, because you know how hard it can be sometimes working on these goals and then you're trying to deal with your life, your personal life, and all other things that come with living. But we can do this, right? Okay, so you guys have a goal-tastic week, and be encouraged. If you have to pivot. If you have to make some adjustments, make some adjustments. But what you don't need to do is quit. I need you to keep goaling. All right? Have a wonderful week.